Welcome to Anne Bonny Bags. My name is Uni. This is my little series of videos for beginners. How to sew bag details. Today we're making a zipper pocket. Actually, we're making two because there are two different methods depending on how particular you want to be. The first method I'm going to show you, you use the two pocket pieces only. You can see the raw edge of the zipper inside the pocket. But it's a quick method, and for professionals who are a little more particular, you have to use this second method, which will make a result no raw zipper inside. So it looks a little more professional. But it's just as simple as the other, so don't despair. But I'll show you both in case you're making a bag for yourself and you don't care about this little raw zipper edge inside. But it's good to know about both methods depending on how nice bag you're going to make. All right, let's get started. In order to make this pocket, the things we're going to need is, well, the lining or the back of the bag, two pocket pieces. We are going to need one zipper. That's all we're going to need for this pocket. So the first thing you do is you mark up this rectangle for where the pocket should go. Then you take one of the pocket pieces. You turn right side of the lining or the back of the bag with the right side of the pocket. Never mind that I'm using a scrap, so, saving fabric here. So you add this at least 1/2 inch above the upper side of the rectangle. You try to center it. You put it in place with a couple pins. And then we sew around here. Let's sew around that rectangle and try to be very precise. Careful in the corners, pivot exactly in the corner. There. What I'll do is cut with a seam ripper. Then I'll cut with scissors. I already did it, but then the camera didn't work. So you cut along the center, stop just before you come, say, 1/4 inch to the end, and then you cut diagonally into the sides, but not all the way in. You take the seam ripper, stick that on the inside here, like that, and then you can get all, you have more control this way, and then maybe you get one thread or two. When you're done with that, you fold this pocket piece over to the wrong side. You have to finger press a little, but you better get used to this waterproof canvas, because that's awesome to use for inside of bags. It gives a sturdiness to the bags and it protects your content because it is actually waterproof. And yeah, so it's pretty good. So you fold that and then actually you finger press, and then I would give it a press with an iron as well. We have now ironed this. So now we put the zipper in the bag and you decide which way you want the zipper pull to be. See, I put it there, but I've put it all the way to the end so I can work freely without being bothered by that. So we stick a couple pins in here to fasten the zipper a little bit, because what we're going to do now is just sew around here. And we're going to center the zipper, so we'll try and get it as even as we can. So we start here and sew around there, and we stop here, and then we can pull the zipper pull into the picture. So let's go and do that now. So now we're trying to keep an even distance. Keep the zipper in the center. And then we're going to sew across carefully. This is a plastic zipper, so it's possible, but we can be a little careful just because I have broken needles doing this. So now it's time to take our zipper pull, push it into the opening here so before we forget and the opening gets too small. So there is our zipper. Now we just need the other zipper pocket in place. Take the other zipper pocket, place it on top there, pin it in place. We put it almost to the top because we need to sew on this side here. Not through the whole bag, just through the other pocket piece. And while we're at it, we can even out this. And what we're going to do is turn it this way. And then we're going to fold it that way. So we sew there, we sew on the bottom, and then we sew up there, and then we sew across here, as close as we can get. There. We lift that part up. Be a little careful over the zipper here. And then sew the bottom of the pocket. And now you can see we have a seam on all 4 sides of the pocket. So the pocket is ready. All we have to do is tidy up a little, cut away, and straighten things up a little. There we have it. We add an extra piece of fabric that's just like a little lining for this rectangle. It's larger than the rectangle on all sides. Let's say 1 inch on each side. Then we sew around the rectangle. On this method for the pocket, we let the pocket, we right side up, the zipper right side up, the zipper pull to the opposite direction from where we want it when we finish. Let's sew the zipper onto the pocket as well. Here, just basting it on. And then we fold that out so we can top stitch on the zipper so the whole zipper is showing and it's laying flat. The raw edge of the zipper is gone. Now, as you see, we have sewn that rectangle, and now we're going to cut that open in the center, starting with the seam ripper because that's easier. And then I'm going to cut in the center here, and I'm going to stop 1/4 of an inch before I come to the side seam and cut in towards the corners like that. There, now we have cut into each corner. Now we'll take the seam ripper, try and see if we really got in the corner. If we don't get all the way to the corner, it will be a little wrinkle there, and that's the last thing we need. Okay, so now we finger press this on each side or iron it. And then we put it over towards the wrong side. There. Now I need to press that. Here's the zipper pocket, here's the right side, and as you see here now, there is no raw edge of the zipper showing. Now you see the zipper pull is on the side we want it. We add that on top here. Pin it in place just to help us hold it in the center. So now we'll sew around the whole rectangle here. I could use a zipper foot for this, but since my zipper is so wide and I let so much of it show, I don't need it for this. Go slowly over the zipper, plastic zipper. Don't ever go over a metal zipper. Get that out of the way. We have the zipper in place. We can iron a little there when we're done. So you see here, no raw edge on the zipper. Then we do the same as we did on the other. We will pin this second zipper pocket and sew it onto the first. Put that down and then we'll flip that over. Sew there, sew there, sew there, and sew here. As close as we can get to there. Starting from the top. Trying to go as close as we can. When we come to the side, we keep a little eye out, see where we should pivot. And be a little careful over the zipper. Take the pins out. We can tidy up here along the edges, top, side, and the bottom to make it pretty. Here is our zipper pocket. This is what it looks like on the back. Now when we open this one, we can see there's no raw edge on the zipper. Thank you so much for watching. If you want, you can check out one of my other videos for little details on how to sew bags for beginners. Good luck with your own zipper.